Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're doing okay. Maybe it's morning wherever you are. Yeah, we are going on with our lesson 2 of week 1 mobile development, which is that with Flutter. So I'll just head over to our LMS. Enoch, Protich, confirm if you can see my screen. Okay,
Yeah,
brilliant.
it is visible.
Okay, so in week 1, we have introduction to that. Lesson 2 is data types in that. Then lesson 3 is control flow. So we are in data types. So what's the data type? So data type is an attribute of data which tells the compiler or interpreter how the programmer intends to use the data. So, for example, if you talk about number, you can easily perform mathematical operations using a number, right? Maybe 1 plus 1 is 2. You can easily type the word hello world. So you can see there's a difference between 1 and hello world because 1 is a number and 1 is a sentence, like hello world, it's a sentence. So they are different in a way that the compiler knows that I'm supposed to interpret this data in such a way that they are distinct. They are not the same. So that supports the following data types. We have number, we have strings, boolean, lists, maps, trios, and math. So we look at the key, and we will start with numbers. So chapter 1, numbers, arithmetic, coding, magic. So numbers in that come in two main forms. We all know that we have whole numbers and decimal numbers, right? So in that, int stands for whole numbers and double stands for decimal numbers. So we can go and write a short code that distinguishes between int and double. So integers for whole numbers and double is decimal of fraction. So let's go back to our VS Code and write some program. So let's just name this file numbers dot. So our entry point of that is that void main function, and we're going to write everything inside our function. So we're going to write. We can start with whole numbers. We've seen that int stands for whole, double for decimal. So in our variables, we said that we can denote variables using the word var, using the word final, or using the word const. But now we are introducing another one. We can also write variables denoting them using their data types. So int num1, which could be number 1, is equals to 15. So number 1 is 15. Double num2 is equals to a double value or decimal value, maybe 15.5. And assuming I want to perform arithmetic, because we've said you can perform arithmetic using numbers. So sum, okay, we will have a variable called sum, which will add the two. So what we will do, we all know that if you add 15 plus 15.5, you'll get 30.5. So we expect a double output, rather a fractional output, decimal output. But in case you're not sure, you can just capture your output as var sum is equals to num1 plus num2. Okay. Then print, we are going to print the sum. What do you expect? You expect 30.5. Let's see. 30.5. We can also perform a difference, bar difference. Difference is minus, right? Num2 minus num1. We can also perform multiplication, bar multiply is equals to num1 as stated for multiplication now, num2. We can also divide, bar divide num1 divided by num2. I think we've cleared borders. Then we print, we can print a difference. We also print multiply and also print divide. So we can also do the remainder. The print remainder. If you divide these numbers, what do you remain with? Yeah, that's there's some AI suggestions. Yeah, so this guy numbers. So many. Yeah. So the remainder of the modulus of this is 0.96. So as you can see, numbers is where you perform arithmetics, because even in our classes, when we were doing, I'm sure all of you have done math at some point, maybe in primary, high school, or even campus. You will not perform mathematics operation in a history class. Like it's mostly done in math. So, and math deals with numericals, unless now you're dealing with value of x, value of y. So that's how you can play with numbers. There are so many other ways you can play with numbers, so many other ways. And I will share a repo that contains all those things. I'll just share. I'll just share it, but not now. I want us to concentrate. So that's on numbers. So numbers is very easy. So long as you just know the double is for decimal, int is for whole numbers, you're good to go. Okay. So let's look at the next guy. String. So string, just take a string as a sentence. So strings as the magic scrolls of your code. They store all your text-based data and messages. With that, you can craft and manipulate text using strings. So strings are just text. Okay, so let's just touch on strings. Do that. So void main. String, these are just text-based. So we did not using the word string, that variable is the word string. String name is equals to. Let me pick one student here, I hope you don't mind. Esther, will. Esther, I hope you don't mind. Esther, I hope you don't mind. Esther, will. Then we print string country she comes from, probably Kenya. And then we can greet her. Print hello, hello, hello Esther, $sign name. So $sign is where now is what you use to connect an external string to your variable, simply your variable, because your variable here is name, which contains Esther or your. So how do you connect these two? How do you connect these two? I can just bring another external string, say hello, then $sign, then the variable name. Then what we get is actually hello Esther Oyo. So string is also a wide thing. It's very wide, okay? But
Hello.
okay, it's not that hello.
I have a question
Mhm.
on where you are. If, for example, you want the user to input the name themselves without the variable, how do you go about it?
Oh, you want the user like you want it to be you want the user to type here.
Yeah.
That one we will see when we talk about that. We have a module. We have a topic called utility,
Mm-hmm.
where even the numbers you can just type here int num1, enter num2, enter num3, enter num4. You see,
Mm-hmm.
enter the operand. Then now we get the value of maybe subtraction, addition, or multiplication.
Okay.
Yeah, we will touch on that. Thanks for bringing it out. So here,
Hello.
hello,
Yeah, I was asking,
uh,
should the string start with capital S?
yeah,
Is it
string.
necessary?
Yeah, guys, that's a very good question, guys. That's very very key. Okay, string must start with capital S. Okay, if let me put small s. You see, there's an error. String
Yes.
has capital S. Yeah. So don't make any error. So allow me to paste this code strings 2 that. Then we just go through it. I'll share the repo so that let's just have a look because strings has a lot of things. Let's talk with strings, data type, and variables. So we are inside the void main. String name is goes to John Doe. String city Nairobi. String favorite food is rice. So let's print this. My name is name and my city is city. I love eating favorite food. So we will also look at the length of string. Okay, string length. So which string do we want to get the length? Print city dot length. We all know that city is the value of city is Nairobi. So what's the length of Nairobi? We'll see it in the output. Yeah. We can also refer to specific character in the string using its index. Print city index 6. Okay, let me touch on something called indexing. So indexing, we usually start from 0. Okay, so n here is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 characters there. So we will go, we'll, you will see the sixth one should be I. Okay, should be I. You can also make your string to be an uppercase. Just use this print city dot to uppercase. Then you also see if you can make it lowercase city dot lowercase. And then just moving forward, you can also look at you can see if there is a character inside the string. City dot index of b. What's the index of b? Yeah, from 0. Where does b start? Where does b start? You can also check if a string has a certain character, maybe p, s. So print name dot contains p. So this one will say yes or no. String concatenation. Concatenation, adding two or more string variables. Okay, so you can just say string greeting hello, string greeting to hello, a world. Then you add these guys, you get hello world. So that's string concatenation. Then now string interpolation is where now you bring an external string to add it to the variable, which is my name is my name. Okay. So string is a lot. String 18 is the widest. Yeah. Right. So let me just run this. I'll share the repo link. You don't need to watch. Yeah. You can see all this. Separate food size 7. I, the value of 6. Nairobi to uppercase, Nairobi to lowercase. The index of B was 5. Does it contain letter P? Is false. Hello world. Hello world. My name is John. So that is it on string. Strings is a wider concept, but it's the easiest because we tend to use strings over and over again. Okay, so do not worry. Do you want me to share this repo now or share after class? Huh?
After.
After
Okay.
class.
Just share after
Brilliant.
class.
You can now.
Okay. Let me share after class. You will not concentrate. Yeah. So the next guy is Boolean. Maybe somebody has an idea. What's a Boolean?
It used to represent whether a value is true or false.
True or false?
False.
Are you in class? Are you in class?
Yes. True.
So that's a true, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Simple. You're a sharp, I can see. So booleans are true or false logic of your code. That's a key ingredient in decision making, by the way. Okay, it's very key. Let's just be right on it. Right. So let me check it. Let me use the one in the repo because it looks wider. It's not. It's short. It's very short. Okay, you can create a sentence. Okay, so bold dot void bold is let's say somebody's married. Who's married here? You go for okay. The prince married. Let's say it's true. You can say true because we gave it a true value. Let's print something. Print 10 is greater than that. Is 10 greater than that? Mathematicians in the house.
False.
Which one is
No.
bigger? 10 or that?
30.
30.
Greater.
Okay. Is 10 greater than 3?
Yes.
Yes.
That should be true, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So we have two truths. We have two truths. Yeah, so that's Boolean. It's very short and very simple. The example in LMS is also quite concise. So Boolean, Bool is coding fun, true. Bool loves debugging, false. Debugging can be tricky. You might not like it. Making decisions with Booleans. So this is another bit wider. We look at it from this guy. Making decisions with Booleans. If it's coding a fun, print, coding is fun. L print try a new language or project for more fun. So you can also use it to make decisions. Yeah. We look into control flow, whereby we move from if else, else, if, go to switch. All of them are used to make a decision, but the example in elements is quite elaborate. Just consume it. I'll use the simplest one, but this one is a bit, it's not hard, but just good. Okay, it's good for some small practice. Yeah. All right. Lists. What do you know about a list? Anybody? What do you know about a list?
They're enclosed using square brackets.
Okay. Who else has anything? Like, what is a list? Not even in that. What is a list? What is a list?
A list is a collection of items or elements of similar characteristic, or yeah.
That's super. Yeah, a list is a collection of items. For example, shopping list. Next, grocery list. Which other list do you know? Which other lists do you know?
Graduation list.
Graduation list. And if you're not careful, you will miss out in that graduation list. Class lists. You know. Did I
A
say shopping
register
list?
list.
What do you mean by register list?
Maybe class attendance or
Noise makers list.
yes.
Contestants list.
Contestants.
Yeah.
Waiting
List of-
list.
Yeah, waiting list. Bucket list. Davis Kadung, what? Bucket list.
Referral list.
Bucket list of buckets or what? What do you mean, Gatung? Yeah, a list is a collection of items, right? So list is similar to an array in other languages, which is the ordered collection of the objects. Okay? If you want to store multiple values without creating multiple variables, you can use a list. For example, void main, we use square brackets for listing. That was very, it was noted by a Protich. And we just do not use my list. So let's write a list.
A list and array is the same.
Yeah, but now arrays for JavaScript, right? Let me back to the next one. All right. So list, we did not use in the word list, which is capital L. List, my list is equal to. We said I did not need where they are stored inside square brackets. I can use maybe, which one do you use? Can I mix, let's say 12? Let's say I want also like to put a pencil. Sorry, my neighbor is repairing a door. The pencil. Next is what do you call? So
Is the L supposed to be capital?
yeah, the L in the list is supposed to be
No,
capital.
not on the list. Like my list.
It's
Camel
not-
case.
Yeah, we'll talk about camel case. Don't worry, we'll talk about camel case. Soap, then I'd also require buckets. Then I'm done with my list. Okay? So the other thing you should know is we have things to do. Good programming practices. For example, using camel case. We'll also look at lower camel case. So my list in this case, we will just let's make it feel better. My list, capital L. Then we print my list. That's our list. As you can see also in our example, we can also add something to our list. We can also remove our list, something from our list. Let's say my list dot add. Let's say I want to add a pen. Assuming I'm going to scroll a pen. So what will my updated list look like? My list will have a pen. My first list didn't have a pen, but my second list has a pen. So let's say I wrote 12 by mistake. I was not supposed to write it, so it's not part of my list. So I'll remove it. Dot remove. Then I print my list. So my list will not have 12 because again 12 is, honestly, what will be 12 represent? Like how can you buy 12? Like one, what is that? It's nothing. So we put it intentionally so that we can remove it. Okay? So as you can also see in our list, we have a number and we have string. So you can see the way you write strings. Always keep in mind your quotation marks, otherwise you'll run it on there. Okay? So my list. So lists put things in specific order. Let's see what the repo has. It has something more interesting. The repo also adds, removes, list version, it's the same thing. So a list is a list. List of friends. I'm sure you have friends in that list. Yeah, but don't remove your friends from the list. Maps. So what are maps? A map is a dynamic collection that represents a set of values as key value pairs. Keys and values in map can be of any type. So in this case, have you ever seen where you're supposed to write your name and maybe age, but they're usually separated with a full column? Have you ever seen it? Or maybe you're writing, I don't know, what can you write that has a name and separates with a full column, then captures another data? Okay, let's say you're storing a password. Okay, let's say you're storing your passwords. You can write maybe for this site, full colon, the password, this site, full colon, the password, this site, full colon, the password. So that's how a map looks like. So a map is a dynamic meaning it can have many data types in it. But now we have key value pairs. Let me show you what key value pairs are. So here we have your map. We did not using the word map. So here we are trying to capture the ages of students. Okay. So let's just write it. Maps. Void main. I hope you guys will get lunch. Yeah. I hope you get lunch. Yeah. So map. So in this case, we want a map that has strings on proper. Okay, strings and integers. Let me capture the ages of students. You can do anything related. Map, string, that's will stand for name, and integer, which will stand for the age of student. Then what will be the value of my map? So my map is equal to. So let me start. I want to capture your ages. Or let me just write students. I want to capture your ages. So student 1, say your name and your age.
Boniface.
How old are you? Okay, straight to Bonnie. How old are you?
25.
Enoch.
Joy.
Joy, this is here. Joy, how old are you?
21.
1. So since
Yes.
last one,
Kasongo.
Ka?
Amorim.
Kasongo.
Kasongo.
Yes.
Amorim.
Let's see. Yeah, Kasongo here. That's the last one.
Victor.
Victor is how old?
26.
26. So,
Yes.
so you've seen. I think if I put it like this, it becomes a bit simpler, right? Or maybe let me just put it like this, so that everyone has their age without being disturbed by any other person. So here we have a map. We do not using the word map after them. Then in our map we have a string and integer. So string and integer, that means the key is a string and the value is an integer. So and what's our variable? Variable is student. So if I come here and print students, if I print students, we will get something like this. Bonnie is 25, Joe is 25, Vic is 26. Yeah, that is the maps. So assuming I put here something called dynamic. Yeah? Dynamic. Let's say Bonnie does not want to give us unknown. So we've captured him. Yes, he has it, but he's unknown. Okay. So that makes it dynamic. So that's like, sorry for that point. Let me just clean that code. Yeah, thank you for your patience. So that is it about maps. So as you can see, if you use dynamic, it gives you a leeway to use any type of data type, any type of data. You can see here I've used bonus string and also string. This one can also be dynamic. Both can be dynamic, okay? So that is for maps. Map has a key and a value, key and a value. So the key is big, value is 26 because we're trying to capture the student ages. Let's write a student ages. it should be very simple like that. That's not. Okay, so let's now go to the next one. The example in the LMS is also very short and very precise. So runes. So runes, I don't know. Those one it's you guys to tell me. These are emojis. Okay? These are emojis. I don't know. There should be a store where they are stored. So a rune can be defined as an integer used to present any Unicode code for it. Unicode code. Unicode code. And that's the simple sequence of UTF-16 code units that to be Unicode values string represented with a special syntax. So every symbol letter of emoji using that as a Unicode code for it. For example, the Unicode for the smiley face is UT U plus 1 F60. The Unicode of heart is this. So let me just run the codes, writing all those Unicodes a bit long. Plus, I am not supporting this module. Chat with me and I use those. You know, I don't even know. You can see the output is a heart here. I don't know which value. Yeah. So you're supposed to print this to this 3. 1, 2. Let me change these codes. Let me use this 5, this 7. But this one you don't need to cram. I don't know if I have a store for this granite emojis, but yes, it doesn't change your question. Basically, these are emojis. Okay, these are just emojis that you chat with your friends and WhatsApp. You send them, a DM you love. You don't need to cram it. Yeah. So that is it on data types. It's just simple as that. Yeah. So there's a whole read here that's meant to be consumed by you on numbers. Okay, the decimal integer will have to perform arithmetic operation. You will perform using double, that's your very simple, printing the results. Then, in short, it's just an extension. Then modulus is the remainder of division. If you divide 8 divided by 4, what remains is 8, right? So that's the modulus. So with numbers you can play with it any way. Are we together? Is it sinking?
You're running fast.
Yeah. Which one? Which one did I go first? The emoji one.
The runes.
The rules
The rune.
guys, I said you're the ones to help me here. It's just emojis, and they are rarely used. Okay. The runes. But I want one of us to use GPT in this.
You go to maps per minute.
Okay, can go to maps. Maybe somebody can go to GPT and tell this GPT that I want this to put me emojis. Just put emojis that you want in that code. Yeah. Okay, let me go to maps. Okay. So maps is a collection of key and value pairs. Okay. So collection of key and value pairs which are written in let's say you have a list of students and you are displaying their marks. Okay? So you have the student name and the marks. are separated using a full column. Okay. So you denote it using the word map. Then inside the map, you specify the type of data that will be captured here. Okay. For example, here I've used a string, and here I've used dynamic. Dynamic, which means it can either be a integer, can be numbers, or could be strings. That's the name of our map. What's the name of our map? Our map is student basic. So, which is equals to, then curly braces, Bonnie, full column, unknown. We don't know your age. Joy, full column, 21. Vic, full column, 6. That's our curly braces. Then we print student ages. So notice that Joy 21 is not in quotation marks because it's not a string, it's not an alphabet. Same to Vic's age. But since we don't know Bonnie's age, we just say unknown, and it's well captured because we ensure that string is for the key and dynamic is for the value. And this is the key and the value. Key, value, key, value. This is when you can try using your remember how you performed in high school? Capture math, English, and maybe science. Subject marks, subject marks. So that's how it's denoted. Is it now simple?
So I have a question.
Mhm.
Why is the dynamic in small case? Does that matter? Like, can you put the
I can try.
like maybe sorry.
Dynamic gives you an error actually. What you say?
Because it's a reserved word. Or
Yeah, some words are reserved. We'll have a list of reserved words moving forward.
yes, I wasn't understanding why on my end, whenever I tried running the maps, it never worked.
Latin. Sorry, my connectivity taking me out. Am I back?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for your patience. I think I don't know. Yeah. So, do you have any other? Was I done with maps before I was kicked out? Was I done with maps?
I think you are not done. You were talking about someone was asking question about dynamic. So was
Oh,
asking
yeah,
if
yeah,
this is okay or
yeah,
not.
yeah. So if you use capital dynamic, capital D, it will be an error because it's one of the reserved ones. Okay. It's just like saying, let me try to create one called. You can create a file here called class.dat, but there are things you can't. Let me create a variable called class. Okay, for example, class. So the word class is usually reserved. Okay? Some of these words are just reserved. You can't even work with them unless now you use capitals, which will not really look good even. Why would you have a variable with a capital letter? You know, doesn't even look clear. Yeah. So it's one of the reserved ones. So any other question? Maps? I think maps is a bit. But if you look at it from this perspective that I want to capture my results for subjects in exams, I think it will be easier, right? This one also can be dynamic. It's not that it has to be a string. It can also be dynamic. In fact, for you to work it best, just use dynamic in all cases, so that whether it becomes an integer or whether it becomes a string, you're okay. Okay. Yeah. Any question?
Can I ask a question?
Oh, yes.
Does it have to be two, or you can add more, like dynamic, like more columns? Let me call them columns. Instead
Like
of
this
having
now.
one, yeah, you add more.
So we said a map has a key and a value. So they just have to be two. So the first dynamic is key, which is bond, and the value of bond is unknown, which is dynamic. So it's a key and a value pair. They're just supposed to be two.
Okay, and another question. Is it possible to only print like only the edges or something like that? Or do you
No,
have
no,
to?
no. You know,
Ah,
you see this guy, this one, the name of this map is called student edges, right?
yes.
And for a map, it has to come with it comes out as a key and its value. Key and a value. They go hand in hand. Like this is 1 unit. Yeah. So I cannot print 21, 26. No, I cannot. Let me open the repo. Yeah, it's just the same thing. So what is the key here in Alice 30? Which one is the key?
Alice is a key.
Alice is the key. The value is
30.
30. So So the map knows that for me to qualify to be a map, I have to have a key and a value.
Okay.
Yeah, hence I list that Bob 35, Charlie 35. So they usually come with those. But I think it's just interesting that programming has captured everything. If I want to print things that are collected, I can do it. If I want to go one by one, I can print them in a list. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah. Is that brilliant? Veronica, are you okay?
Just to add on his question, can we print using the indexes?
Yeah, you can print, but now that one I can give you as an side.
Okay.
If it can be printed, because it should be something like one, something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you expect here? Which is index one in this thing?
Oh,
Joy.
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 Nah, this one doesn't. This guy does not accept those things.
right.
Yeah,
I'll
it's really
just,
good to explore.
uh,
It's really
I'll
good to
just,
explore these things to see if
is
we
there a
can.
way sorry, is there a way I can raise my hand before actually talking?
I think yeah, there should be something. Yes.
Okay, I
Oh,
just
yeah.
wanted to add,
Hmm.
let me just add something. Like, I've just seen a method because I was also thinking of maybe printing the first value. And I've seen there's something like dot keys, then you iterate over the map or something.
Yeah. Are you able to show us?
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't
Thank you so much. I think I should have learned something today. Ish. Okay. Share your screen.
Okay. Jehova, sasa nafaa kushare gani? I don't know whether it's visible. So I was actually doing this and I've seen that you can print in the first value. And when I edit this, I try and run my code, it prints the first value. I don't know whether it will do it for the second. Let me try and see. I don't think so. I've just seen it. I think it was here. There's this guy who asked that map get the first key only. So we have this. We wanted to print the first value. So there's a person who answered with okay, as defined in the Dart docs, map.keys returns an iterable object that is in itself an iterable list-like object. You can access the first element of an iterable with the first getter method and use the last to access the last element of an iterable. So then he does this and this last. I don't know about the middle parts because it was just a quick search. I hope you have seen the docs.
Yeah,
I hope
I've actually opened that documentation in regards to maps because okay, from what I know is that maps are inseparable. Like key and a value have to go there for it to be a map. But now printing one from the map, there should be a formula because I might not need it. Right? Yeah, you can ask. Copilot. And also, guys, were you taught about how to use AI in the previous sessions?
Yes.
Okay, so if we have AI, we can all ask the AI. We can with using AI as our body. Ask it, how can I convert this? How can I print one? Let me send the code, challenge it, then we can all discuss. It's all about. You can ask it, how do I print this without that? But I really doubt. You can ask the AI. Ask ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and the other one.
Okay. I think this suggestion, hold on. Let's try and accept.
Kiprotich, you are quiet. Are you wondering what's happening? Gideon.
Are you still seeing my screen?
Yeah, but yeah, I've seen you output the last one.
I'm currently in VS Code. I don't know whether you can see.
Yeah, I think there's an output there.
Yeah. So I've just tried to ask the AI, that is Copilot, and I had created this map. It's a string dynamic, named it JSON. Then I asked it how you can access, like, I think any other element in the array, in the map, as long as you know the index of the key value pair. So as we know, the second element is index 1. The first one is index 0. So then the second one is index 1. And after I run my code, so the second element is Oracle, that is according to my key value pair of the map. Then access the second value, it's still the same. So it prints the index. This is the key. Then you have the value. Interesting. Oh, you use the dot values to access the values, then the dot keys to access the keys of the map. Then you point it at an element using the element at method and pass the necessary index that you need. Maybe let me say, for example, if we needed the third element, can try and use to second entry is the third entry. Yeah. Implement this. And let's run code. Okay, so let's try and see the second one. Oh my goodness. What have I not changed? Okay, I don't know what is happening. Maybe the demo gods are sort of interfering. I'm getting but I think I've gotten the concept. Maybe we can do more research then.
Yeah, I've actually gone through the maps, the documentation. We have so many things that can be done, including even constructors. Let me share the link. So everything you need to know about maps, the list is there. The entire thing. Yeah. Maybe any other question in regards to that? But okay, for now, you can just have it as key value there. Okay? Because that's the basic one, the basic part of it. There will be need further, you need further, what do you call it, further research. So this the ocean is still quite. Yeah, so I don't know. Okay, so let me share my screen once more. So we are technically done with lesson 2. So we have lesson 3 here. Control flow. What's your take? Should we start on it? Should we? Or it's supposed to be the
Yes.
evening session? Supposed to be the evening session. Do you want us to do it now?
Yes.
Anybody else?
Session 3, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, the session 3 of the day, which is at 6:30 p.m.
It's okay.
Yes, you can
We
do it
can
now.
we can touch on it.
Okay.
But not
So-
all. We can leave after.
Okay. Don't worry, it's very interesting. So, control flow. So control flow is in life, like when you're trying to make a decision. I'm not threatening or something. In that, just like in life, you need to make decisions. Control flow allows you to decide which direction your code should take, whether to repeat an action or jump to specific steps. So let's take a fun dive and into control flow. So what's control flow? So control flow statements are like a set of traffic signals for your code, deciding whether to move forward, repeat, or take a different turn based on conditions. Okay. By using control flow, you can direct your program to execute or skip parts of the code, loop over tasks, and even jump around categories. So the first one is decision. So this one you make decisions based on conditions. We choose from conditions, like based on conditions. Okay. The other one is loop statements. Loops are repeat code over and over. The other ones are jump statements. So let's begin with decision-making statements. Okay, whereby you now choose a path. Sometimes you need to choose between different actions depending on conditions. Like if Miriam is 18, marriage is sorry, my device stopped. Just Yep, I'm back. So we are going to begin with if statement. So there's a practical example here. Like if Miriam's age is 18 or more, she can vote. That's in Kenya. That's the voting age in Kenya. So this simple decision maker runs a block of code until the condition is no, it runs a block of code if a condition is true. That is the if statement. For example, variable age is okay. Let me ask a question. What's something that you can do because you have something? What's something that you can do because you have something?
You can drive if you have a valid driving license.
Other condition?
Can only attend an examination if you go to class.
Any other one?
You can vote if you are above 18.
Yeah. So those are some of the conditions. You can buy something if you have money, right? It's true. I don't know if there's a shop that gives out things for free.
You can go to
Yeah.
heaven if you're born again.
You can go to heaven if you're born again.
Yes.
Okay, that I will not comment. Yeah. So if madam is 18 of age, so let me just create a file here. If dot that. So void main. Void main. So let's first capture age. Okay. Where age is equals to 19. Maybe it's just for the cycle. If age is greater than 19, is greater or equal to 18, what can Miriam do? Print. I can vote. Okay, go back. So let's see. I can vote in Kenya. I can also say, so that's if, okay? Let's have a look at it first. I put it here. Maybe someone can tell us why it is not good.
Sorry?
Observe the code and tell me why there's no output.
The condition was not met. Age is not greater than or equals to 18.
Nice. So the condition is not true, right? So if, so the work of if, this simple decision maker runs a block of code if a condition is true. So this one doesn't care whether, this one does not really give you a second chance. Okay? Okay. Let's now go to if. Okay. If else, yeah. I don't know why it didn't put this in bold. Just try to. So if else if and then if else. Yeah. So we say that if only executes when the condition is true. If else, Sometimes you have two paths. Choose from. If the condition is true, do one thing. Otherwise, do another. Otherwise, in this case, else. Right? Are we seeing it? Are we seeing it? So let me just put it else. So I'm gonna take the same if that we had for medium. Okay. We still have medium's age. If age is greater or equal to 18, print. So if is actually a function. If function, okay, is actually a function. So if the age is greater or equal to 18, we print. I can vote in Kenya. What if this person is not 18? Is not 18 or above? That's where now the else comes. Okay. Else 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 print print. I cannot vote Mariam. I cannot vote again. Simple. So all these are conditions. This is a conditional statement. That whether if I meet the first condition, I'm going with it. If I meet the second condition, I'm going with it. You cannot meet two conditions at the same time. Okay, you can meet it in some cases, but in this case, you have to be 18 or over for you to vote. So let's see what this voter will be told, this citizen will be told. Are you seeing the output? Are you seeing the output?
Yes.
The rest of us, are we seeing it?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
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 Why is the output I cannot vote in Kenya?
The age is below 18 years.
Yeah, or rather, the age is not 18 or above 18, not right?
Yeah.
So let me change this age to be 18. What do you expect?
I can vote in Kenya.
Okay.
I can't vote in Kenya because I'm 18. So that's how if else works. Like if you don't meet the first condition, you'll have to go to do the second condition. Okay. So this one is, I think, one of the simplest. The simplest. If and then it's else, it's something that you don't. It doesn't really have to worry you. Maybe unless we have a question. Just have a look at the if else. So we'll look at if else if. When you have more than when you have more than two choices to check, you can use if else if to evaluate multiple conditions. For example, variable, we're still with medium, variable age is equals to 10. If age is greater than 18, print medium and 10. Else if okay, else if age is exactly 18, this is a stress for exact. Print medium is old enough to vote. Else, if she doesn't meet any of the two, you can say she's too young to vote. Okay, let's see this in the VS Code. Allow me just to lift it. If else, still else. Have a look at this code. Let me change this to 18. But tell me what do you expect as the output?
Miriam is just old enough to vote in Kenya.
Any other observer?
I agree.
Yeah, yeah, same.
Who has a different answer?
Miriam is old
Okay.
enough to vote in Kenya.
So do we have a different answer? Okay, let's see from the debug. Miriam is just old enough to vote. I put this 19 years. And yes. What do you expect?
Mariam can vote in Kenya.
Any other person?
Miriam can vote in Kenya.
Where's Adenikule? Is Mariam still too young to vote? Miriam can vote in Kenya. So if else if is
Alan,
used,
just a minute.
yes.
What if you change the age to 18 and then you put it in a string?
No. Remember, we're working with numbers. So if I put it to be, I put 18 here.
Yeah.
No, now when you're doing when you're doing comparison, like you're checking the value of an integer or value of a character, it's usually done mathematically. The only place where you can do valuation of a string is when we're trying to look at the length of a string length. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus also these mathematical operations, these mathematical symbols, presume that I'm working with mathematical figures. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it will not, it will just give you an error automatically. But you can work on something that if the string is longer than this, print long string, print short string. Yeah. So have you seen how if else it works? Like you have more than two choices.
Have you been sharing your screen?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm the only one because I can't see the VS Code. I can only see your name.
Yeah, you're the only one. The rest
You're
of
the
us
only
can see.
one. Oh God.
I can see.
Maybe you can refresh your connectivity. Yeah. So if you have more than two choices, you go for if else. If you only have two choices, you go for if else. If you want to put, if you just want to proceed when the condition is true, you use if. So if else, if else if. So from 1, 2, 3. So if else if is for 3 conditions, if else is for 2 conditions, if is for 1 condition, or even just to check if something is true. And that's how you work with it. So I think it's not quite hard. Are you able to do an example? Do you want me? Can I proceed with switch or do you want to do an example of that? Do you want to do an example if else and if else?
We can do an example.
Okay, so allow me to pause. Okay, what we do, I want you to implement if else if. Just choose a random thing, work with it, then you can present. For the last session of the day, you can touch on switch and then do it. Just to ensure that it's not totally ready for you. So implement if else if, then the last one. So how many minutes? And then you can use your own real life situation. Maybe you passed some, you are trying to join a university with some cut-off points.
Alan,
Yeah.
yeah, I have a question. Go back to your VS Code.
You want to take a photo?
No. I just want to ask a question. You see there void main. If I want to do another example, should I start with a void main or
Yeah, because you say you cannot have two main functions in one file.
okay? Uh-huh.
But you can just have another example, just try to here, like you can start declaring our variable here, another variable, but not void main function.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah. So how many minutes do you require? Catherine and Buga. How many minutes?
Want to join, but I can't code because I'm at my work, so I'm just listening. Sorry for that. Yeah.
So maybe you want to tell me how many minutes do you require for this task? Mm, 15 minutes? 10? 10 or 15 minutes?
Let's try by 10 minutes.
Okay. 10 minutes to expect some presentation. That's 15:47. So let me just pause my recording. I will resume. Use a practical examples. Yeah. think that time was enough. Now let's see what you have. So share your screen, talk to us, tell us what you're trying to solve, and give us the whole view. Now, speak.
Yes. My variable is temperature is equals to 30. If temperature is greater or equal to 35, print it is a hot day. Stay hydrated. Else, if temperature is greater or equal to 20 and the temperature is less than 35, print the weather is pleasant today. Else, if temperature is greater or equal to 10 and temperature is less than 20, print it is a bit chilly, wear a jacket. Else, print it's very cold, stay warm.
Yeah, that's a good example. Next one, just share your screen. Whoever is ready, just share your screen.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Oh, yes. So, this is a decision for a guy on age is ideal for marriage. So, yeah, he wants to make a decision. So, his current age is 20. So these are the conditions. If age is less than 18, so print you are too young to be married. So, or else if age is greater or equal to 18 and age is less than 30, you are in your prime age for marriage. Else if age is greater or equal to 30 and age is less than 50, you are at a mature age for marriage. Else, print you are at a wise age for marriage. So since it's 20, we're able to print you are in your prime age for marriage. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. That's okay. I may not comment. But it's a good example. So if you raise your hand, I should have given you the rights to share the screen. So, si Kevin Anyango, Takpini, and Karanja.
Let John finish sharing, then I can share mine.
Kindly zoom a bit.
John, you need to unmute. We can't even hear you.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, but you can zoom a bit.
Can you see my screen? Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, it's visible.
Yes,
thank
it's
you.
visible.
So I just use a simple example. So as you can see, these are points maybe for a test. So I just arrange from the average, starting from the average to the level of genius. So starting from 55, as you can see, points from 55 to 60, 61 to 65, that's C, 66 to 70, that's B. So if you run this, you can see. So it was 85. And if I can change, if you can allow me to change, maybe to give me a random number, maybe, which lies between 55 to 81. Okay, maybe let me say 67. So if you run it again, gives you this, then that's an average. So that's all from me. Can I stop sharing? I'm done.
Hello everyone, can you see my screen?
Yes.
So mine is all about distance and the mode of transportation that you will take. So basically, if the distance is greater than 50, let's say 50 kilometers, it will print take a flight. Else, if the distance is greater or equal to 20, you will take a
I
car.
think we can you see his screen?
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, it's now okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And if the distance is greater than 5, you take a bike. Else, print walk, which means if the distance is less than 5. So for instance, I put here the distance is 40, it will print take a car. If I change here and I say the distance equals to 4, and then I run my code, it will say walk. Yeah, thank you. That was my presentation.
Let me go back on this. So can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mine was a simple one. I was just checking the bank balance here. If it's more than 2 million, I will buy a car. The code will print, I will buy a car. Else, I will have to save more for a car. So if we run it, let's run. Sorry, it's taking you back. It prints, I will buy a car. Mine was just a simple one. Anyone else can continue sharing.
Hey, sorry for disrupting, but I just wanted to mention something. When dealing with transactions, I read somewhere that using loops in transaction sometimes can bring performance issues in terms of excessive commits. and resource consumption and error prone. So when dealing with transactions, we can try and avoid loops. Thank you.
Okay.
So for my presentation, I wrote a program that is used for grading students. As you can see, mine doesn't have emojis as the previous one. I started by initializing the marks and then writing conditions like if max is greater than 90, that's an A. If max is greater than 70, that's a B. I've not written less than or greater than because once it gets to 70, the program automatically knows that it's supposed to be a B. If it gets above 90, it's supposed to be an A. So when I run it, you can see right now I've put 69, so it should be, let's see, yeah, it should be at C. If I change it to 90, let it run, it goes to an A. Yeah, that's all for my presentation.
Alan, I have a question.
Yes, you can go on with the question.
When declaring the variable in that, because I've seen other people have used int, others var, which one is standard practice?
Okay, so you can use var. You're not sure if your variable is an integer or a string, just to capture everything. But you can use int if you're sure the value of your variable is a whole number.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Super. Anybody else? Frida, did you present?
Yes, I did, but I realized someone had a project that was looking similar to mine, so
Are you guys
it's
communicated?
different. It's a
No.
bit different. No, we
Wait.
didn't communicate. It's a bit different though,
Okay.
but similar.
Okay. Okay, so mine is actually not running. I don't know why, but I was simply trying to. Okay, this question is usually common. Okay, print.
Parakuma,
Yes.
you have so many operands. Honestly, I
Operand.
can't understand. Like, operands is just a
Oh,
modulo.
okay. Sorry. I wanted to print like the multiples of 3. If the numbers has the multiples of 3, I print the value fees. Then if it's a multiple of 5, I print bars. Then if it's a multiple of both 3 and 5, I print fees bars. So I don't know what was happening. I was just trying to look at the errors people are presenting. Also, I don't know what was happening. I don't know what is happening. Maybe you guys can help me.
You can share the code.
Oh, okay.
Please zoom in.
Zoom in also.
I don't know whether you guys can see.
You can send us the code one.
Okay, let me share this piece of code. So
But
just
I won't
learn.
lie. I won't lie. I'll just paste in the GPT for the sake of time.
Yeah, okay. It's a classic happy.
That's one of this. Towards the end of the day, brains tends to be slower. I don't know why.
I don't know whether I'm allowed to share.
You can share with me, then I share with the rest. Go to the meeting chat.
Okay, I think I've shared it.
Yeah.
I've also learned that I think okay, coming from the JavaScript perspective, there is the strict equal. So like I think Flutter does it different. Sorry, that where you only have two equals. I had initially started with three equals and I didn't want to ask the AI because I wanted to learn a bit. So I was having a lot of errors, but at least I have one.
Yeah, I can correct you now. This is incorrect because else does not take a condition. Only if and else if do. So to fix your code, should let me just copy the answer. Swap it.
Oh, yeah. Enough with the quail. Soft. Yep.
Somebody's watching a movie or something. Oh my god, the one.
Okay. Let me try this.
Also add the equal with whatever Alan has shared.
I think it will run at Chatuani. Facebook. Okay, let me try 5. Jehovah. I don't know why it's not running the 5, but no, it has run. Windows icon scan. I was down not scrolling, but as you can see, okay, these are okay. Simply this program, what it does, it checks for multiples of either 3 and 5. So whether if a number, let me say for example for 45, it can be divided by 3, which gives the result as 15. It can also be divided by 5, which gives the result, I think is a 9 or something. I think it's a 9. So the program will print fizz bars. If let me say 3, if the number that you've assigned here is a multiple of 3, it will print fizz. If it's a multiple of 5, it will print bars. Otherwise, let me say something like 7, it will just print out the number. Yeah, so thank you. I think that is my program. Thank you. Thank you for the help.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Anybody? I'll let you guys drink the evening tea like the normal Africans. I know there's tea usually at 4 p.m. in many households. What do you say? Rita is laughing. It's true. Rita, I'm sure you agree with me, especially in Kenya. But me, because I'm in Ivory Coast, I cannot drink it. So I'm just drinking some fine tamarind juices, you know.
We will drink it.
Huh?
We
I'm
will
not in
drink
Kenya. I'm not in Kenya.
Must be nice.
The weather in Nairobi was cold, so I had to shift. Just it's also good to change that. To change.
Must be nice.
Yeah, let's call it a day, guys. I think we can link up 6:30. We finish. You said we finish on the remaining switch and the loop. Then we can call it a week. Then now I'll let you converge in our groups. Please make our WhatsApp group active. Please engage, ask many questions, and please let's just maintain the housekeeping rules. Darling Nyambura, your hand is up.
Yes. kindly share the link for the WhatsApp group. And also, I wanted to ask, we have 3 sessions. Are the 3 sessions different or they're the same?
They are different because now we have 8 weeks, and from what I know about this module, we might run out of time before you guys complete it. So that's why if you miss the first one, you can have all the recordings will be available at the end of the day. But I highly advise you to just attend. Oh, the repo. I've sent the repo. I've sent the WhatsApp group. The repo is here. I'm also gonna share the repo even in our WhatsApp group. Yeah, so that was good. Let's link up for the last session of the day.
Alan,
It was really amazing. Yes.
I was asking about we will be can we be having a catch-up lesson?
Yeah, we can connect. We will be discussing on how we can, but I'm always open for anyone who is willing to ask any. I'm always available.
Okay,
even
thank
on
you.
Sunday, unless Chelsea is playing football.
Una game ya Chelsea
Yeah, let me stop the recording now.